So you've accepted a cash offer from an investor and now you're moving forward. Congrats. Let's talk about what that process is going to look like and what it means for you. So once both parties have signed the contract, the option period starts. And that option period is going to be as long as it's been agreed on. Typically, it's going to be between 5 and 10 days. Now, during this time, four things are going to happen. They're going to confirm the repair costs, bring in contractors, inspect the property, and just make sure that all of their numbers make sense. At this point, a couple things can happen. They can say, great, we're good to go, we're moving forward. But during this process period, if they don't like anything that they see, or the repairs are too big, they can pull out for any reason during this time. Typically what happens with an investor is they want the property, but they need to make sure that the numbers are going to make sense. So if they find repairs that they weren't expecting, they could ask for a reduction in price. Typically what I'll do in this case is I'll have them inspect the property before they make the offers so that they can make sure that they're making offers that make sense for their budget and that we don't have any price decreases during this time period. Nevertheless, what's going to happen is I'm going to be guiding you through this negotiation process and we'll move forward through it. The next part is getting documents to everybody. We're going to need HOA documents. We're going to need the seller's disclosure documents. We're going to need surveys if you have it. If you don't have it or you don't know where it's at, we might be able to track it down by going through the previous title company that you used when you bought the place. If that doesn't work, we may have to come up with some other suggestions. Ultimately, the key here is absolute transparency. We don't want to give the investors any reason to question the choices that they've made, and we just want to be absolutely clear about anything that may be wrong with the property. Remember, they already want the property. They're an investor. They're prepared to make any changes or corrections that need to be made. They just need to know what they are, and they don't like surprises. So it's better just to say, there's a problem X, Y, or Z, and move forward. One of the next parts is going to be earnest money. Earnest money is typically going to be due within 3 to 5 business days, and it gets sent directly to whoever it's instructed to be sent to. In this case, it's typically title, and I will notify you if they don't send it in or when they do, either way. So at this point, title company is running checks on the liens, making sure there's no liens or issues, running the title. They're preparing the closing documents and getting all that sorted out. Remember, with an investor, typically we're doing a 2-week closing, but it can be as much as 1 month. But they're getting all of that sorted out very quickly. But if anything comes up, like there's a lien that needs to get paid off, or there's something from the past, we'll jump on it right away and we'll get it sorted out. The next item is preparing to move out. We've got to make sure that we've got this planned out pretty well. You want to be out at least a day or two before we close so they can do a final walkthrough before the closing happens. So here you want to start lining up where you're going to be moving. If we're buying, we need to have that planned out. If you're renting from an apartment, we need to get that sorted out. All the monies need to be lined up, and we need to have moving dates sorted out, transfer of electricity, water, all of that good stuff. And the home needs to be left in the condition that it was contracted at. So the next step is going to be closing day. Now, before closing day happens, you are going to be moved out into your new place, whether it's you've bought a new house or you're renting an apartment or whatever the case. So we need to make sure that that's done. You need to do a final walkthrough to make sure you've left the place the way that it was contracted for. And then the buyer will come in and do a final walkthrough and make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to. This is a very straightforward process. Obviously, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me, but we just want to make sure all your property is out, that the house is clean and ready to go, and that's it. So closing day happens, and what's going to happen is you're going to get a email or phone call from the title company. They are going to set up a time for you to either come in and sign, or they're going to send a notary out to you to sign at your new location. and you're going to sign all the docs and bring whatever money you're supposed to be bringing. If you're the seller, typically you don't bring anything. They're going to take any monies owed, either for liens or taxes, out of what you'll be making out of the property. For the buyers, buyers will need to bring any kind of closing monies that they've been told about, and once all of those monies have been collected, everybody has signed, then the purchase is effectively completed. Now we're just waiting for the bank to fund the transaction. Also, don't forget remotes and keys. Those are the two other things that sometimes people forget. So if you're the seller, bring remotes and keys to the closing, and make sure that you can transfer it off that way.